I don't know about you, but I feel like we've been hating a little too much on this show the past few weeks. So let's show some love today. It's time to show some love, right? Today we're going to be looking at a rebrand that came in late 2024, and that is the rebrand of the tech company Sandisk. Today we're going to take a deeper look at this rebrand, why Sandisk did it, and what my thoughts are. But before we get into it, be sure to support the show by giving this episode a like, leaving a comment, and of course, by subscribing. This is Ziggy the Designer, the show where we talk about the world of graphic design and the people who make it move. Design is all around us, we might as well talk about it. So, if you don't know Sandisk, odds are you've probably used their products, right? Sandisk is the company when it comes to things like SD cards, flash drives, solid state drives, and other portable storage devices. They are everywhere. And this is the logo you've probably seen whenever you've used a Sandisk product, very traditional, classic look. So you could imagine the surprise that I had in December of 2024 when Sandisk introduced a new brand look. So let's get into it. This is the new Sandisk logo. Here it is side by side with the old logo. Now this logo and this rebrand job was done by ELA, an advertising agency based in Los Angeles, California. Now the big theme with the logo and with the brand identity itself is the pixel, the graphic image of the pixel, which makes sense, right? Sandisk works in tech, it's digital, right? And digital is, you're dealing with pixels, it's all related. It all works together, and the theme of the pixel shows up everywhere in this brand identity. We see it in the serifs and the word mark here. In a press release, Sandisk writer Adil Siddiqui writes, "The modular, almost mechanical feel from the angular pixel base combines with more natural and humanistic curves to weave in the exploratory and ephemeral feeling of inspiration." Essentially saying, for us non-writers, the pixel imagery ties in with Sandisk's dedication to tech products. The curves seen in the word mark represent Sandisk being a brand that's always moving, progressing, and innovating. Now, aside from the word mark, here it is on an out-of-home placement, and here it is on a sweatshirt. So it's very clear the message and story that Sandisk and ELA are trying to tell with this new brand. It's a mix of showing stability and also being dynamic. Through the pixel, they show stability and dedication to tech. And through the style elements, the bright red and the curves in the word mark, they show a brand that is on the bleeding edge, always moving, always innovating. Sandisk's VP of Creative Joel Davis speaks on the pixel. "By starting with the pixel, we could visually communicate the scalability and infinite potential of data, the core of what Sandisk is known for." So why did they do it? Why did Sandisk rebrand? This rebrand was driven by a desire to signal a fresh start and a new direction for the company. Sandisk is looking to mount a comeback from this. A couple of years ago, Sandisk was hit with lawsuits after many of their solid-state drives, or SSDs, failed. Tech publication The Verge was a part of all that, and they lost 3 terabytes of data stored on Sandisk SSDs, and they were far from the only ones who lost data from this. So when your product just up and fails like that, obviously consumer sentiment is going to go down. And you're going to lose a lot of brand loyalists. That's just the nature of a situation like that. So by introducing a new logo and visual identity, Sandisk is hoping to create a fresh image and regain some consumer trust here. As we've been talking about, this rebrand is meant to reflect a future for Sandisk that emphasizes innovation and progress. So what do I think? I love this rebrand, if you couldn't tell. As a designer, I believe that story is at the center of all of the work that we do. And this rebrand tells a great story, right? It tells the story of a brand that is focused on the work that they do, tech. But at the same time, it shows a brand that is also agile and innovative. It tells the story of a brand that is also shedding its past, whether it be shedding an old, outdated logo or simply a brand learning from its mistakes from the past. That's the story I get here. Design-wise, I'm a big fan of the word mark. and how it reflects Sandisk's aim of being this bleeding edge innovative tech company. I'm also a big fan of how the brand identity centers around, a base graphic, that base being, the pixel graphic that we see everywhere. I do think there are some issues with readability on the word mark. I wish they could have landed on something that had more complete letter forms than open letter forms, right? We see on the S that the base is gone and the left of the D character is gone too. I think we can forgive that on the D character, but on the S, it's a little harder to forgive because then I feel like that's a little harder of a read. Overall though, I think we have a lot to appreciate here. Let's not kid ourselves and act like 2024 was this great, fantastic year for brand design, because it wasn't. Time and time again in 2024, we saw major corporations let us down in that department, whether it be Spotify, PayPal, Woolrich, and many of the other letdowns. Point is, this is a big win for brand design, especially tech brand design, where Sandisk's counterparts are nowhere near as expressive with their visual identities. So it is great to finally see a rebrand that is done thoughtfully, with a thoughtful story, with design finesse, and with some personality. Hopefully we see more of this in 2025. What do you think of the Sandisk rebrand though? Are you a fan, or do you wish that they could have done something else? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. That's all I have for you. Be sure to give this episode a like, subscribe, and share. I've been Ziggy the Designer. If there are 2 things you need to know about me, it's that 1, I love design, and 2, I'm very opinionated. I'll talk with y'all later. Bye-bye.